Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news now, Lions fans. If you've been following the team closely over the past few seasons, you know that the Detroit Lions have been on a serious rise. From their gritty, hard-nosed defense to an offense that's finally starting to click under Jared Goff, this team has been building momentum. But as we all know, in the NFL, injuries can change everything in a heartbeat. And unfortunately, the latest news coming out of Allen Park is a huge blow for the Lions' defense, especially along the defensive line. It's a story of hope, setbacks, and resilience, and today, we're going to dive deep into what this means for the Lions moving forward, particularly focusing on the devastating injury to Levi Onwuzurike and how the team is adjusting and regrouping. We're also going to analyze what this could mean for the NFC North and the Lions' Super Bowl ambitions for 2025. But let's start with the man himself, Levi Onwuzurike, a player with tons of potential, but who, unfortunately, has been plagued by injuries since day one in the league. Levi Onwuzurike, drafted out of Washington in 2021 with high expectations, was seen as a key piece for Detroit's defensive future. The Lions, under Dan Campbell's leadership, have emphasized building a tough, physical defense, and Onwuzurike fit that mold perfectly. When he was picked in the second round, fans were excited about his versatility and explosiveness on the inside. But the road for Levi has been anything but smooth. His rookie season showed glimpses of talent, flashes of what could be, but then came the back injury that sidelined him for the entire 2022 campaign. That was a major setback for a young player trying to establish himself, and it was a tough pill to swallow for Lions fans, hoping to see him develop into a core member of the defensive line. Fast forward to 2023, and Levi was back on the field, fully active for all 17 games. That was a positive sign, but the consistency and dominance fans hoped for didn't fully materialize. The ACL injury, announced just days into training camp for 2025, is a huge blow. It's a season-ending injury that not only halts his momentum, but also raises questions about his long-term health and the Lions' plans for interior pass rush. For a team that has invested in building a dominant defensive front, losing a player like Levi, who was seen as a potential game-changer, is frustrating. Yet, it's also a reminder of how brutal the NFL can be and how fragile even the most promising careers can be when injuries strike. Dan Campbell, always honest and straightforward with the media, confirmed the news during the start of training camp. His words were clear and direct. "Levi's out for the year," he said, with a tone that reflected both disappointment and resilience. Levi's surgery was significant, but it needed to be done, out of his control, so he will miss the season. For fans, that's a punch in the gut, especially considering how much hope there was that Levi could be a cornerstone for Detroit's defense in 2025. This injury comes at a tough time for the Lions, who have been steadily improving on defense, and Levi's absence will undoubtedly be felt. But the team's coaching staff and front office are no strangers to adversity. They've built a roster with depth, and now they'll have to lean on other players to step up. Players like Alan McNeil, T.J. Hawkinson's former teammate, and DJ Reader, a seasoned veteran, are expected to anchor the interior. But the real question is, who will fill the pass-rushing role that Levi was expected to provide? The Lions had high hopes for Levi as a disruptor from the inside, especially in sub-packages and on passing downs. His size, agility, and burst off the snap were supposed to be key ingredients for Detroit's pass rush. Now, with him sidelined, players like Josh Paschal, who had some solid moments last season, Broderick Martin, a promising young lineman, and Mekhi Wingo, the rookie drafted out of LSU, will have the opportunity to shine. These players will need to step up, not just in training camp but throughout the season, to fill the void left by Levi's injury. It's important to note that the Lions' defense has been on an upward trajectory. Last season, Detroit finished with one of the top-ranked defenses in the league, particularly in limiting big plays and creating turnovers. Their scheme under defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn has been aggressive and versatile, allowing their front to create pressure and disrupt opposing offenses. The addition of players like C.J. Gardner-Johnson and the continued development of their young linebackers has made this unit a real strength. But losing a player like Levi, who has the potential to be a disruptive force on the interior, puts even more pressure on the rest of the line to step up. And let's not forget, this isn't just about 2025. It's about the bigger picture. The Lions are clearly aiming for a deep playoff run, and many experts see their window opening wider each season. The NFC North, traditionally a competitive division with the Green Bay Packers, Minnesota Vikings, and Chicago Bears, is becoming more balanced and unpredictable. The Vikings, with Kirk Cousins and a solid roster, are always a threat, while the Bears, under new management and a fresh coaching staff, are looking to surprise everyone. Green Bay, despite their recent struggles, still has Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love at quarterback, and they're always in the mix. So, for Detroit, every game, every division matchup, takes on even more significance. This injury to Levi Onwuzurike could influence how the Lions approach their defensive strategy moving forward. They might lean more on their veteran players, emphasizing a rotation that keeps players fresh and minimizes the risk of further injuries. It also puts a spotlight on the development of their younger linemen, who will have a chance to prove their worth early in the season. It's a challenge, yes, but also an opportunity for players like Mekhi Wingo, who showed flashes of brilliance in college, and Broderick Martin, who has the size and strength to be a force in the middle. Now, I want to talk a little about the broader implications for the NFC North. The division has been shifting, with the Lions emerging as serious contenders. The Packers, Vikings, and Bears are all trying to find their footing, but Detroit's consistency and rising talent make them a team to watch. This injury could be a bump in the road, but it's not the end of the story. The Lions have one of the best coaching staffs in the league, led by Dan Campbell, who's known for his grit, motivational skills, and ability to get the best out of his players. It's a team that thrives on resilience, and this setback will test that trait. The Lions' front office has always been strategic, and they're no strangers to tough decisions. They've been building this roster with a mix of seasoned veterans and promising young players. Now, with Levi out, they'll need to get creative, perhaps relying more on their scheme and scheme flexibility. Detroit's defensive line coach, Todd Wash, is known for developing linemen and maximizing their potential, so it's likely he'll have the young guys ready to step in and fill the gap. It's a real test of their depth, but also a chance for some unsung heroes to make a name for themselves. Looking ahead, the Lions are still very much in the conversation for a deep playoff run. Their offense, led by Jared Goff, has shown it can be explosive, especially with the development of Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, and the addition of some key offensive linemen. The defense, despite this recent setback, remains a strength, especially with the secondary that's been playing at a high level. The key for Detroit will be maintaining their physical, aggressive style of play and making sure that the injuries don't derail their momentum. Now, let's talk about the fans, the heartbeat of this team. Detroit Lions fans are some of the most passionate in the league, and they've been through a lot over the years. The hope, of course, is that this injury doesn't define Levi's career. Everyone's rooting for him to bounce back, to come back stronger, and to show why he was so highly regarded coming out of college. Injury setbacks are tough, but they're also part of the game. What matters now is how Levi and the team respond. The Lions have shown resilience time and again, and this season will be no different. In terms of what's next, the Lions will focus on staying healthy, developing their young players, and executing their game plan with precision. They're still a team with a lot of talent, a lot of grit, and a coaching staff that knows how to get the best out of their squad. The NFC North is going to be a dogfight, and every team will face adversity. For Detroit, this injury is just another challenge to overcome, another chapter in their quest to reach the Super Bowl again. So, Lions fans, stay optimistic, stay loud, and keep believing in this team. The road to the postseason is never smooth, but Detroit has the talent, the leadership, and the heart to fight through adversity. Remember, football is a game of inches, of moments, and of resilience. This season may have just gotten a little tougher, but that's when true champions rise. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Detroit Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news. Let's keep the passion alive, let's support our team through thick and thin, and let's believe in the comeback story that's still unfolding. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Lions!